Folks, it's with great pleasure we welcome the co-CEO and co-founders of Brilliant Earth, Eric Grossberg and Beth Gerstein. Welcome, folks.
Pleasure to be here.
Good to have you with us. Well, why don't we just dive in? What is Brilliant Earth?
Brilliant Earth is a fine jewelry retailer which specializes in ethical origin, conflict-free diamonds, ethical origin gemstones, as well as recycled gold and platinum.
Okay, and how did the whole idea get started?
When I was getting engaged in, I guess it was 2002,
Okay.
it was really important to me and my husband now to be able to find a ring that we really felt symbolized not just our commitment, but the values that we had as well.
Okay.
And when we were looking for a diamond, we were really surprised that the different retailers we went to didn't have any type of guarantee in terms of what the origin of the diamond was. Here you have this really beautiful ring that's supposed to symbolize our love, our commitment, and yet there was absolutely no guarantee on the origin.
But diamonds are diamonds is one argument that could be made, and most of them come from Africa, don't they?
Many diamonds do come from Africa. The majority of diamonds do, but there are many human rights abuses that are associated with the diamond industry, whether it's conflict diamonds, worker exploitation. So there are millions of people working in this industry being exploited, and as a consumer, it's important that we do something about that. And as Brilliant Earth, what we decided was to provide an ethical alternative for socially conscious consumers to actually make a difference with their purchases.
Beth, maybe tell us about the Canadian diamond.
We source from two mines in Canada, the Diavik mine and the Ekati mine. And both of these mines are great because they have very strict labor and environmental standards. You can also track the diamonds from the mine to final purchase, so you know that you're actually getting a diamond that's mined in Canada with these socially and eco-conscious ways.
Well, let's dive into that. What sort of standards are being applied, and what should consumers be asking about?
One is a lot of the social issues that Beth was alluding to. So is your diamond coming from a socially responsible source? Is it one where you know that it was mined with fair labor practices and it was mined in an environmentally responsible way? And that's what we're doing with the Canadian diamonds that we can track back to the source. In addition, there are a lot of environmental issues that you'd find in gold mining. Gold mining is one of the dirtiest mining industries in the world today. And what you find is that it takes 20 tons of gold ore to get enough gold for a single wedding band.
And what happens to the ore afterwards? Is it just discarded, or is it polluted and can't be reused?
Well, a common practice that exists in the industry is actually to use cyanide to extract the gold from the gold ore. And what happens is that cyanide ends up leaching into groundwater or polluting fisheries. And so for us, what we offer as an alternative is recycled and renewed precious metals. What that allows us to do is take gold or platinum from secondary sources. It's repurified so that it has the same strength, the same durability as a new metal would, but without that negative environmental impact.
So the social standards, just to dive into that a little more, Eric, then certainly I would assume no child labor is being used. People are paid a fair wage, and dare I say it, good working conditions?
That's correct. These are the standards that we hold our suppliers to. We believe that people shouldn't have to make a choice when they're buying a fine jewelry product. They should be able to buy a product of beauty, of high quality, that isn't compromising their values.
Makes sense. So the conflict then it really is the wars in Africa, the civil wars.
That's basically how conflict diamonds is defined right now, is diamonds that fund civil wars against recognized governments. The issues really go beyond just conflict diamonds. Child labor is a big problem. In places like Angola, they found that over 50%, about 40 to 50% of the workforce is under the age of 16. Workers are being exploited. You have over 1 million diggers in Western Africa that are earning less than $1 a day. And certainly environmental destruction with the area that's being mined not being restored once the mining activity has stopped. So all of these problems continue to persist, and it just goes way beyond conflict diamonds, which is obviously also a serious problem.
And the environmental side, from a gold point of view, I can understand. 20 tons of waste, basically, to get enough to make a wedding band. How is it in the diamond industry?
Well, the big problem that you see in the diamond industry with regard to the environment happens in areas where people are digging alluvial diamonds. What that means are diamonds that are deposited by rivers, for example, and are kind of close to the surface.
Okay, alluvial diamonds.
Yeah, and what that what that entails is stripping large areas, because what you have are diamonds that are close to the surface over very broad areas, and it involves stripping those surface areas over a very large area. And what happens is what was once fertile agricultural land gets stripped away. And certainly in places like Angola, what's often left is a pockmarked landscape that used to have fertile soil but no longer does, no longer can support agriculture. And you have pools that collect in these dugout pits that have been dug, and those pools, in particular in West Africa, breed mosquitoes, which leads to malaria and disease being carried.
Eric, could you tell us what the Canadian diamond mining practices are?
The Canadian mines have very high environmental standards. One, they're subject to the Canadian version of the EPA, which is very strict, so that they're doing a very constant monitoring of the environmental conditions there, as well as remediation of the sites to restore them to their original condition and look out for the wildlife that are in the region to make sure that they're not impacting them.
I wanted to turn then to the issue of cost and quality.
Sure.
Basically, when purchasing a diamond, certainly you want to be cost conscious. You don't want to underdo, you definitely do not want to overdo in diamond buying, that's easy. And you want to get the quality you're looking for. Would I be safe in saying Brilliant Earth could get its hands on pretty much any shape, size, cut?
Definitely. It's our goal to offer a really broad selection. You should be able to get different colors, any type of shape that you want. We offer very premium cuts as well. So
the
the
super
ideal cut category,
Okay.
we offer a wide selection, but really as an ethical consumer, you shouldn't have to compromise on the selection or the quality that you're purchasing.
Beth, could you tell us a little bit about the mission as well as the Diamonds for Africa movement?
Sure, definitely. For us, we are a for-profit company, but it is very important for our company to be able to give back to the communities in Africa that right now are really not seeing the benefit of the diamond mining that they're doing. And what we wanted to do as Brilliant Earth is to be able to give back to these communities, to provide basic resources like water, like electricity, and donate a percentage of our proceeds to be able to do this. And that's what Diamonds for Africa is. It was a nonprofit fund that we helped to create. Right now we're advisors on the fund.
And you've also moved into the area of fair trade jewelry, is that correct?
Today there really are no fair trade standards that exist in jewelry, but we've been an active part in trying to make those come about. And we've been working with various organizations that are starting to do really excellent work in West Africa and lay the groundwork for what will in the future be a fair trade industry.
And again, if the cost is the same, the quality is the same, you know, heck, I would even be willing to pay a premium just to know that my diamond came from a place that met social and environmental standards and represented my values.
The diamonds that we sell are often at a discount to what you'd find shopping for diamond jewelry locally, and what we do to help achieve that for our customers is really try to keep our overhead down. We're not operating a network of very fancy retail stores across the country, and we can sell what we consider to be a premium product that really does encompass all of these values that we're talking about at a discount price.
Now, as I understand it, you allow custom-made, is that right?
We do. We are happy to do custom-made jewelry, and our designers are expert and can produce almost any style.
Beth, what really matters?
What really matters to me is to be able to do something I love every day. Being able to be a founder for a social enterprise is so satisfying, not just to be able to have my own business, to also be able to make a difference. And I think just find what you love and go for it.
Eric, what really matters?
What really matters is that all of us think about the purchases that we make and realize that the things that we buy affect the lives of others. If we're all going to look toward a better future for the world, I think it's important for us to take responsibility for each of our actions.
Folks, there you have it. The co-founders and co-CEOs of Brilliant Earth.